Hello everyone, my name is Flo. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to attempt to make Nigerian meat pie with oat flour. I've gotten a few questions about whether we can use oat flour to make Nigerian meat pie. Finally, I have time to try this myself because I can never say no or yes to something unless I've tried it. So come on, we are going to make this together. If it works, it works. If it fails, we fail together. Come on, let's go. Here are the ingredients we'll be using for this experiment. Yeah. Over here, we have the ingredients for the filling. And over here, we have the ingredients for the dough. You know, there are two parts to meat pie. Here, I have the oat flour. If you don't have oat flour, you can grind the conventional oats with a dry mill. That's a spice grinder. You can actually take it to Nigerian market if you're in Nigeria and use that heavy duty grinder to grind it in large quantities. Then keep it in your home and use it for all the oat flour recipes that I'll be discussing on this channel till the nearest future. Then I have baking powder. I have butter. This is butter. You can use margarine as well in this recipe. Butter and margarine are interchangeable, so I'm going to use butter. This is salt. This is water for mixing the dough. Over here, you have the ingredients for the filling. This one is the mama of the filling. Beef mince, or minced beef, or minced meat, anyone. Then you have thyme, you have vegetable oil. This one is sunflower oil though, but the vegetable oil sold in Nigerian markets can do. And then this is carrot, a very tiny carrot. Let me place my finger beside it so you see how small it is. It's very small Irish potato. Seasoning cube. This is half of the normal cuboid. This is the full one. This is just half of it. This is half an onion. You can see the size of onion. I cut it into two. And here, this cup is for the, we'll use this to thicken the filling. So I'll get that from here, a little bit from here. Okay, that should be enough to thicken the filling. And right at the far back, I have an egg. I put it over here because it's used for glazing. You'll see everything. Now let's go. I peeled the onion, carrot, and Irish potato and diced them up like this. And then add a little bit of water to this and make a thickener with this consistency. Hopefully it tastes like when you use flour to make the thickener. A good number of people often ask, why do I need to add this thickener? If you don't add this thickener, the filling will not be moist. Try it, you know. The thing with recipes is anything you see me do is not written on stone. Even though I recommend that people try out a recipe without changing anything first, then when you get a hang of it, you can literally do anything you want, to be honest. As long as you're not serving it to the public, you're eating it by yourself and you. By you, yourself, and you and your family. Yeah, it's okay to be adventurous when it comes to food, but you know, you don't want to be trying this out on people that, you know, visit you, you know, your guests, because they may not like it. Add some oil and wait for it to heat up. No need to fry it to steep up. Once you can smell it, it's fine. It's important that you separate the beef mince as fast as possible so it doesn't clump up due to the heat. That's what I was telling some people in my vlog where I prepared meatballs. You see how fast it's clumping up. The protein in this meat is so high. So you see how fast I'm going with this. Yet I can't even catch up. Once it's peeled, you can add other stuff. This seasoning cube is the pasty type. You can't crush it, so I just do that inside the pot. You don't really need to cook the Irish potato and carrots because this will be baked. A little bit of water, and there's always this argument that why should we add Irish potato and carrots to the filling of meat pie, that it's no longer meat pie. Again, this is a recipe. I released this recipe of Nigerian meat pie to the internet for the first time because I knew someone who knew someone who knew someone who worked at the company that makes what we know as today as Nigerian meat pie, and this is how the filling is prepared. But like I always say, all these things are not written in stone for you to be coming and arguing, you know. It's not necessary. Okay, it's not necessary at all. So do whatever you like in your home. For me, I don't think that adding vegetables to a filling makes it no longer meat pie or something like that, or maybe yeah, I don't think so, because when we prepare a meal, for instance jollof rice, we have other things in there, yet it's still called jollof rice. Yeah, I mean let me check for salt to see if it's necessary. It's not necessary, I tell you, because seasoning cubes contain salt, and when you add this, normally it happens with all-purpose flour, but I didn't know that it will happen with oat flour as well. This oat flour added some kind of salty taste to that, but you know, when you taste it and you feel like it needs more salt, feel free to add. Okay, and that's it. Actually, filling is done. Set it aside to cool down completely. Time to mix the dough. Because we already know that this one weighs 500 grams, so we just add this quantity of salt. One teaspoon. Butter. I'm going to use this is 250 grams container, but I'm going to use 175. So you use I and divide it. You can measure it, but I don't want to start bringing out my. So if you divide this into 5, 3 of it is 150. This is how we get something close without bringing out extra equipment. Is 150, so 150 grams in there, so half of this will give you 25 grams, so we have a total of 175 grams. That's how I do it anyway. But you know, when I'm making a recipe, normally I will measure everything for you guys, show you that I'm measuring everything, you know, to live by example. But yeah, you don't have to. That's why when people see such things, they'll be like, is this all I'm going to be doing? No, it's not. You don't really need to be doing all that. For this butter, like I said earlier, you can use margarine, you can use olive oil. There's a recipe of meat pie that I prepared here for vegan meat pie, and I used olive oil because all these things, they are oils at the end of the day. So you just rub that into the oat flour. If you've seen any of my meat pie recipes, it's the same process. Remember, we're going from known to unknown. This is my first time making meat pie with oat flour. Sometimes all you need is courage. Don't be afraid to try these things. When you see it, to give you you can even use cassava flour. Anything flour that can gum together, that has gluten. I mean, you call this gluten free and all that, but still has that gummy effect. That's oat flour. The same cannot be said for coconut flour. No, coconut flour, you need something to bind it before it can form a dough that you can use to make meat pie. See, you have crumbs, crumbly feel to it. That will show you that you've properly mixed the oat flour and the butter. You don't have lumps in there. It's a crumbly mix. See, yori yori. That's what I used to describe it. Yori yori. Some people were asking me, what's the meaning of yori yori? Yori is something that runs through your fingers like sand. Yori yori. Yori yori. Anyway, now we start adding water. As always, you can also use milk, but personally, when I'm doing something for the first time, I play it safe. Yeah, I know that milk hardens the conventional meat pie, the classic meat pie made with all-purpose flour. So I don't want to play that game of adding milk, but you can add milk if you wish and try it and see. It's still going to be edible, even if it's hard. So I'm going to go with water. And as always, I cannot tell you the quantity of water to add. Add bit by bit. Mix, add, knowing that oats can be easily sticky. When I'm making the meat pie with oat flour, I play it safer because I already know that it can really get sticky. One at a time in drops. Let me knead it a little bit to be sure. I'm happy that it's not too hard as well. Actually too hard. It's still disintegrating a little bit. Let's not forget that oat has fiber. I think I'm happy now. I want to play it safe. I don't want to add more water. It's like a drum. Set it aside for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes or thereabout, let's see. Ooh, so strong. Lolo. This thing has soaked up all the water, so let's add more. Let's add more water. This oat flour is so thirsty. You see how you adjust? This is just like life. You have a plan, you have like a 5-year plan, 10-year plan. But when life throws you a curveball, instead of going in one corner and crying, sulking, you adjust your plans. Think fast on your feet. So, even in recipes, we apply life. Hey. Everything has a solution. Even if I'm adding the water now, adding it, it becomes too sticky. You add oat flour. The aim is to get a non-sticky ball of dough. We do everything in our power to get that. You see it? Hey. This is the filling. Egg. Oven tray lined with baking sheet. If you don't have a baking sheet, or if you have a gas oven, because this is a fire hazard for gas ovens, you rub margarine or butter on the oven tray. Then it's still breaking. Let's see if we can make. Don't overfill it. Should I add more water? What do you think? What do you think? Because this is not so bound together, it's not so smooth. I don't know if using the meat pie maker, I don't know if it will work. That's why I'm not using it. I have it here, but I don't want a mess. If you don't mind adding all-purpose flour to this, I mean, if you're not asking for oat flour for health reasons, that's if you can actually eat all-purpose flour, you can add a little bit of all-purpose flour to help it bind better. But if for health reasons you absolutely cannot eat all-purpose flour, of course you can see that you can do that. See how I'm holding it back with that finger as I remove the fork, so that, because I noticed from the first one that it scatters. This is cleaner, so you learn as you go. See what I got from the 500 grams of oat flour. 10 meat pies. The number you get depends on the diameter of your cutter. This is the one I used. I'll put the measurement on the screen for you. So if you use something bigger, of course you get less meat pies. And it also depends on how thick you rolled out your dough. You can see the progression This is the first one I made. You can see how rough the edges are before I learned my lesson that I need to use my finger to hold back the dough while removing the fork. So I did this one next. You see how much better it's improving. Until here I saw that it has started breaking. Oat flour, in fact today I discovered that oat flour is a very dry flour. It's very thirsty, like I said earlier. So you can see that this one is a bit rough. I did some panel beating for it. I patched it. So I added more water to the dough and kneaded it again. It became smooth again. I made this one, made this one, made this one. So I'm sharing with you the lessons I learned while making it, so you won't make the same mistakes, or you won't be shocked if you see some things happening, because oat flour definitely does not behave like all-purpose flour. All-purpose flour contains gluten. So this one needs a bit of more manipulation. So I'm applying the egg on top so that it will look golden when done. I hope. I don't know how this oat flour will brown. I don't know. We're all doing this for the first time. I do a second pass. If you don't have an oven, I already have a video on my channel, this one, where I baked meat pie without an oven. You can try baking it that way. It should work because the process up till now is the same. I've shown yet another appliance that you can use to bake Nigerian meat pie. This one, I'm not going to give it 100% go ahead yet because I haven't tried it. You saw how that oat flour dough was breaking as we were trying to roll it out, you know. For the toaster, you have to roll it out really wide. So I don't know if it can hold it. Even if it holds rolling out wide, will it hold when you lift it? So I'm going to try it myself first before I give it 100% go ahead. But of course, feel free to try it, in your home. Once you can do that, fine, of course. You can also use a toaster. I've baked it for 45 minutes. Let's see what it looks like. Yay! I think this is a good time to like this video. Have you liked this video yet? Have you? You see what I'm saying? It's not golden brown. Let me touch it. Looks done. Cracked. Let me bring you closer. You see? It looks brown, but it's not so obvious because oat flour is darker than all-purpose flour, so the browning kind of blends with the color of the oat flour. But I can see some things going on there, like here. You see that it has browned, but it's not so obvious. So it's done. You see how it cracked like an arid region. Oh my god. Time to taste it. Ooh, it's still very hot. Oh look at that. Have you liked this video yet? It's breaking up. I'm just telling you all these things so that you're prepared. It is crunchy, like you're eating cookie. It's like eating cookie and cream. Yeah, it's crumbling, but very tasty. Bye bye, see you soon.